Frodo is short, Sam is fat, Gollum is racist, accept it. These are irredeemable flaws. These books are so badly written, they over-rely on basic tropes, like how none of the good guys die, or when they do, they get resurrected. Like that one time your grandpa tried to border control a demon because he was say too dark and doesn't speak the language. Well, this is a joke because I do not want the smoke. It still has a few precise elements to engineer a truly aggravating sentence. You see, attention is a big key to rage baiting. Mispronouncing the names on purpose, lying about small details, and speaking in an authoritative tone is more effective than in a straightforward way reminding you the Hobbit movies are canon. People assume that you can only rage bait with lies, but you can use the truth extremely effectively as well. You see, kids these days call me Unc, and make fun of me for being old because I was born before the first Lord of the Rings movie came out. By a year, I'm 25. If you are older than me, you must have taken a lot of spiritual damage. But if you are younger, I got you. You see, my biggest fear in life is turning 30. But my biggest fear a few years ago was becoming the guy that is afraid of turning 30. So just give it a couple years. As I alluded earlier, it's important to not pick the coolest thing ever as bait, otherwise you are going to get the Gohan meme, which means you have been caught and you have failed at being a terrible person. How could you fail at that as well? But instead, pick something okay, something harmless, and be way too mean. The unexpectedness of it will cause more friction in their brain. It also attracts people that actually believe this, which creates the illusion of it being prevalent, which is even more triggering. If you don't have any interactions in your posts, don't worry. Ask a streamer for how they mobilize their communities. I hear the Russians also pay well, despite the war, their crippling economy, and their really cold winters. Which of course they blame all three on NATO. There's only 3 things I hate in life: FPS, EDM, and healthy relationships. Because I suddenly started hating, it wasn't expected, meaning it felt like a sudden betrayal to the nervous system, especially if you are a hearing impaired individual. My taste in music is marshmallow and death. As the premier fedora-wearing story JRPG enjoyer, I hate the "if it doesn't have a gun or a ball, I'm not playing it" type of gamer. But the reason I only hate FPS is because I love balls, especially kicking them. As far as the reason why I hate loving relationships, it's because I feel that I don't deserve them. There's no joke here. I need a break. Sometimes you'll read certain comments and feel, wow, this person doesn't know anything. But it takes a lot of research to find what truly makes people mad. You have to study footage in the fields, scout for master baiters and watch their traps through and through, over and over. Figure out your target's patterns until your blinders are filled with flowcharts of recorded meltdowns. Once you have developed some pattern recognition, get out there in the training grounds to instigate. Not only do you help fellow rage baiters, but you can have them show you the ropes while in action. It takes a while, but once you feel ready, you can start by calling beautiful women mid, following it up by saying you would never give them a chance and that your standards are just too high for them. My favorite is saying they are wearing too much makeup and how you prefer women with no makeup than posting a picture of a woman that is very much wearing makeup. But this is only level 1. Criticize their makeup, this is how you truly get under their skin. Say the color of the lipstick is too much even though it's not because they're not wearing any. Or tell them their eyeliner is uneven or fading and watch them immediately run at the nearest mirror. The big one is to ask them how much did they pay for the setting spray for it to do nothing. Adapting when your target doesn't match the game theory is very important. It comes down to how annoying you can be even when unprepared. MAGA has figured out the strat for this. Criticize a Trump policy? Trump derangement syndrome. Inflation has gone up? Trump derangement syndrome. Mention that he has cheated on all 3 of his wives. Trump derangement... No, wait, that's based. Or at least permissible, said the Bible-loving MAGA-tard, who supports a guy who treats the 10 Commandments as a checklist for things he ought to do. And if you're wondering about number 6, remember who was president during August 10, 2019. Redefining terms is especially effective. Saying how you fuck with some celibacy lately like it's a dining dish you tried last Tuesday is peak incel farming. That's a goat right there. You know they was fuming. This inspired me to deny my girlfriend sex because that's what a bad bitch do. Deny oxytocin from your partner. No neural activation for you. Do not come. A nice little tidbit is saying I'm going to give the hottest steak and then giving the most milquetoast steak ever. Easy, right? Disappointing expectations is something you have loads of experience. You have to be careful not to make people laugh with your baits. For example, women will complain about wanting more nice men while their favorite book is about a 1,000-year-old demonic warlord kidnapping a 19-year-old. If you laugh, you're not angry, so pay attention to that. Jokes help with social skills, but they are terrible for antisocial behavior. Luckily, the only funny thing about you is that you can't afford a house. See? The purpose is not to be funny, but to hurt you. Be that a 1,000-year-old demonic warlord. Except you have no money or kingdom, you're as ugly as a demon but have none of the superpowers, you have about a decade left max, and no woman wants you. Not even the BPT ones. Google Trends is a very useful tool. Just pick the first result and go on a rant. Let's see, what's trending right now? Stranger Things, Black Friday, Christmas, damn. Even Christmas isn't safe. I think Stranger Things needed a couple more years before they released the final season, to just build up a bit more hype. Sometimes the showrunners themselves do all the rage baiting for you. You just have to double down. Black Friday sucks. I feel bad for all the companies that feel peer pressured to offer discounts. Or it should be called Socialism Friday, because while it promises cheaper goods to the wider populace, it instead is only a front that centralizes your money and distributes only illusions. The fact that there are adults who enjoy Christmas is what's wrong with today's society. It's supposed to be for kids to enjoy themselves. What is your grown ass doing asking for a holiday? You should be at work providing for your country. Liberal, holidays are for lazy people. Food takes is another avenue that is quite universal. Pineapple on pizza is a heated debate, but my take is that pizza itself is the worst Mediterranean food, preferring instead grilled meat with a touch of unemployment. One experience that traumatized me since childhood was there was a time when we were offered to pick some milkshakes. It was my first time ever and I thought I'd be different and asked for a vanilla flavored one. One of my friends called me gay and asked if I watched a daytime Catty show. It was a really good one. And yeah, I was devastated. It didn't even taste good, or maybe it's just my bitterness. Maybe that's why I don't like vanilla flavored food. It sucks, because at the time I was also hella homophobic and misogynistic on top of that. So to not be able to find a good comeback, it just dragged me for years. How could someone outdo me? But at least it instilled a lesson in me, it solidified that competitive feeling of being the worst human in the room possible. Music is another realm. Drake has already surpassed Michael Jackson's legacy, but you're all not ready for that conversation. This is a good fight to ignite because they are basically arguing my pig has better music than your pedophile.